at some point I used to wonder, is this even church? Is this even people that you're supposed to be associated with? So today, let me tell you, Lucy, today, after I graduated, now everybody wants to be my friend. Today my baby goes to the best. Lucy, I'll repeat this. My baby goes to the best school.
How old is he now?
10. My baby is 10 years. Does he know his father? No. Has he ever seen his father? No. Is it that it is me stopping the man not to see his child? No. I've actually even asked him several times. But is this guy willing? No. Do I want to force him? No, I don't want to force him. I said I'll protect the small heart of my son. I'll protect his heart. I'm missing my periods. I thought it was climate change because back that time we were living in Moyale. So I thought it's because I had moved back to the village and came back to Nairobi. That is why climate change has affected my flow. Yeah. So I went and told my friend, and my friend told me, are you sure? So we went, did our test, and boom, to me, I was pregnant. So when I told my guy then, he told me he's not sure that it is his. But me, I was very sure. You know, me, I was very sure, because if it was not you, then I would not have called you. I remember one time, I was supposed to go for an interview. Then I asked one of my aunties, do I call even her auntie or whatever? Yeah. I asked her to stay with my baby so that I could go for that interview. She refused. That is the pain a single mother would go through. Simply because that she's seen her husband, because seen her husband, and her she's married to our family. Aendo amekuja, but she can't stay with my baby kwa sababu ati mimi sijaolewa. I call a friend, mama fulani hapo, nikamwambia, you know, mtoto wangu amefika point ya kwenda shule. So this lady goes to discuss this with the husband. Husband yake akamwambia, nisione huyo mwanamke na wewe tena. Mtoto wake anataka kwenda shule gani? Mtoto wetu anasomea. Where will she get money to pay? Ama ameanza kulala na wanaume so that she can afford money. Lucy, it was so painful that even people who know good schools could not even refer me to a good school because I'm a single mother. Where do I get money to pay? I remember that time, I told God, mtoto wangu aendi shule ya government. No, my son is going to a good school. Then the doctor who was there asked me what is the problem. I could not talk because of the pain. I think the nurse had followed me, so the nurse explained, and the baby was taken to the ward, and it was just a matter of emergency. Then they asked me if I had 5,000 shillings. What? Lucy, where do I get 5,000 shillings?
After a motorbike,
at an ambulance scene, I've come here with a motorbike that I've not even paid.
With a baby.
Hey. Now you're calling this person who is not even picking your call. Yani, Lucy.
Ulikuwa unamcall haitiki.
Happy call, her reply message. You know, like, Lucy, you're just there stressed. The baby is sick. Lucy, it was crazy. I remember the doctors told me they'll help. So my brother, I had called my, you know, it was a crisis. Me, I called my brother, I called my father, I called my mom. I called everyone that I know I would call for help. I remember the day nilinunua kitanda. My baby would touch that bed like this. Mama ini yetu. Mama ini yetu. But like he would go around touching the bed. Amini. Na bed tumenunua. Ile mattress yetu ya 700 itatoshea. Haitoshei. Sababu ni kale kadogo. Tunenga mattress huko kando kuna shimo.
So mmepata kitanda kama mattress yenu.
Kako hapa.
Tunaweka katikati.
Ninasongesha hivi kwa kona kwa sababu ya mtoto, alafu hii side nyingine imebaki na mbao naeka manguo. Unajua tunapanga zile manguo hivi ndio hata nikilalia nisifinywe sana. Lucy, I'll share with you photos of me when I came to Nairobi from Namanga. I was looking like a destitute child. I looked like someone who, you know, this manager, I remember that morning, came and told me, Esther, these ones are yours. And yes, because my clothes did not look like for someone who was working.
Oh my God. And now you are a lawyer today.
And today,
Oh Lord.
you know, Lucy, today my baby goes to the best school that I can mention. I don't want to mention the name of the school, but my son goes to an international school that offers both CBC and international British system.
Oh my God.
And I'm proud to say that, Lucy, today I'm a lawyer because I went to school. I studied for 4 years. I had sleepless nights. You want to be called a father where you did not take this child to school, you did not feed this child, you did not clothe this child. So what do you want to become to this child's life?
Good question.
You've grown old, you've gotten to 60 years.
70.
So what?
Hello viewers and welcome to Lucy Mworia Network, a network for everyone that inspires, educates and gives information. Today we are back. We are back after so many reactions and demands of having more single mothers on the show. The reason is our show is being more on the issues affecting the older persons, and this time especially the older men. Why do they have a lot of trouble? They suffer more on loneliness and isolation. And from the previous episode that we have done with single mothers, you'll get some insights. Why are they lonely on the wee days of their lives? And with us today, we have a guest who has come in support of the Single Mothers Program. And this is a lawyer and accredited mediator from the Charter Institute of Mediators. She is a proud single mother of one. She's been to our show before. That time she was actually a student, but this time she's coming strongly, coming out as a lawyer who is a single mother with no apologies. And with us, we welcome our guest to introduce herself.
Thank you so much, Lucy, for having me again after we had our first show. I'm so happy and so glad to be here, and to say congratulations for the good work you're doing.
Thank you.
And to really appreciate the impact that you are impacting the society with. And yes, we are here today not to talk about the previous things, but we want today to talk about single moms and the effects when now daddies leave and now they are old, and the loneliness and feeling like they have been isolated. So as you said, today I'm a lawyer. I graduated last year with a bachelor's degree of law. And I'm also an accredited mediator from the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, Kenya. I do mediation, and yeah, I'm so passionate about that. So yeah, I'm also a mom of a 10-year-old boy, and as you said, I'm so proud to be called a mom. You know, that is a title that no one can take away from me, you know. It is something that gives me status in society. It is something that I want to be associated with. Yeah, so yeah, to our topic of the day, and
yeah, our topic of the day is single motherhood, and we are glad you are here now to give us another perspective on why the older men at their wee hours, they are more affected, maybe with some reasons you are going to give us. So tell us your story on the motherhood journey. Yeah.
Thank you. So to start with, Lucy, I became a mom when I was not prepared. It was, I will not say it was an accident, no. It was a result of love. You know, we are all at some point when you're growing up, and you feel like, oh my God, now I found this person, and you being a girl, you feel like this is the right person. So for me, it happened that after my college, after my diploma, I was in love, and I didn't know that I was pregnant until like 4 months. That is when I was like, I'm missing my periods. I thought it was climate change because back that time we were living in Moyale. So I thought it's because I had moved back to the village and came back to Nairobi. That is why climate change has affected my flow.
Yeah.
So I went and told my friend, and my friend told me, are you sure? So we went, did our test, and boom, to me, I was pregnant. So when I told my guy then, he told me he's not sure that it is his. But me, I was very sure. You know, me, I was very sure, because if it was not you, then I would not have called you. So yeah, and to take you back, me, I've grown up in a very reserved family. I'll not say my childhood was bad. Actually, my childhood was good. And we lived with the principles of the church. Despite the fact that my dad was not a church person, but my mom was a church person, and I grew with these values, you know. But now it has happened. So I was afraid of telling my parents. I didn't call my mom, I didn't call my father, I didn't call my brothers. So I kept it to myself. Lucy, I suffered because at that time when I was 4 months pregnant, because of the moods and all that, I was fired from my workplace. Because there's a client who used to come and my moods would just change. I don't know why. So my boss could not handle that, but I don't blame him for that. And also in the morning, I would come to the office and it's 7:30 and I'm already sleeping, you know. So all this contributed, and my boss spoke to me, and we agreed that, yeah, it was right for me to go. So at around 4 months or towards 5 months, I was not working. No working. My parents do not know. I do not have a place to go. This guy has said that, you know, like he's not related to all this stuff. So yeah, 4 months. It was towards 4 and going to 5 months, and I didn't have a job, no one to go to, no home. You know, like I couldn't go back to the village to my parents. So you know what I did? I had saved some small amount of money. So I went and rented a house in Kayole. So when I went to Kayole, that place is called Kona, Karibu Junction ya Kayole and Saika there.
Yeah, okay.
You know, it was a new estate, so the houses were cheaper. So I rented a small house there. It was 2,000 shillings.
With no job.
With no job, no one to call. You know, like it was literally me and my pregnancy. And I was very new into all these things because I was from college. I was from, you know, from the village to college, now to pregnancy, and you know, as who have grown to church,
Yeah.
kuna zile vitu hawezi sema ovyo ovyo, because everybody is expecting harusi kubwa, you know. But now you're coming with another thing. So to me, it was not like I can't tell my parents. So what I did, I bought a mattress and stove and sufuria, and then just started my life there. So I remember when I started even my antenatal clinics, I tried to reach to this person, like, you know, we need to start cleaning. But he was not willing even to just say their blood group, you know, even the simplest thing, just like saying, this is my blood group, because it is required, right? They were not ready to share that information. So what I did, I just continued with my life. But at some point, because there was nothing coming in, it was just getting out, I didn't have money. So I remember one of my friends, one of my former colleagues, which I really appreciate, called me and asked me, Esther, what are you doing? I told her, I don't have anything that I'm doing at the moment, I'm just in the house. Then she asked me, do you think you can start doing something? I told her, yes.
Wow.
So I started selling fruits in Isili, up around Raunda.
Wow.
So I was 6 months pregnant, very heavy because it was my first time. And
All by yourself in
all
Nairobi?
by myself.
In Nairobi?
Yes. And that time, just to mention, that time my brother had gone to Uganda for his internship. And remember, I've not told my parents, it is me. Now my brother, who, maybe, you know, me and my brother, we have a good relationship. I would have told my brother, but He's younger than me, and he has now gone to Uganda for internship. I can't call him and tell him, you know, this is happening to me. So I started selling fruits around Isili, hapo kwa Raunda. I would wake up at 4:30, go to Marikiti, get my bananas, get my oranges. Then, because the money is small, no matatu, I would walk from Marikiti, you know where Marikiti is, to Isili.
Okay.
Yeah, in the morning now I want to come, put my bananas there and start selling. God was so gracious to me. I would sell, and in the evening I would get something to go back home with. But that did not last, because at 7 months I developed complications. Now I was put under bed rest. So no more work for me. So yeah, I survived. I would eat, I think, once in a day, you know. Like, you call this person and they're not even willing to help you. Lucy, it was crazy. It is something that every time I think of makes me so emotional, because you're expectant, you don't have even food. Then your friends, you know, the friends that you think would come to you, these are the same friends who have now run away from you, and despite running away, they're now talking.
How old were you then?
I think I was 24, yeah, because I was immediately from college. Lucy, it was painful, but the thing is, after all that, now 9 months came. The hospital that I thought that I would go to, hapo inaitwa kwa DC. Hapo Kayole kuna hospital inaitwa sijini kwa DC. Yeah, I remember hapo kwa DC.
Yeah.
So this evening, I started feeling like, oh, in the morning, let me tell you what happened that day. In the morning, I woke up, washed the house, washed everything. I washed even the blankets.
You were just feeling cleanless.
But later in the afternoon at around 3, I started feeling uncomfortable. Yeah, I was so tired, like I had a stomach ache. You know, I don't understand all these things.
You didn't even know what it was.
Yes, I remember my parents do not know. So it is just me. And this time round, I'd also cut my social cycle, because now my friends that I thought were my friends, had started other things.
Talking about
yes.
You.
And it was so painful, because now even the person that you thought you'd run to is this person who is asking you, are you sure that this baby is mine? So that evening at around, I remember so well, because it was a very funny thing. Around 8, my brother then had come back from his internship from Uganda. I told him, I'm not feeling well. He told me, twende hospitali. Then we went to hospital at around 8. And then imagine, I had dilated 4 centimeters.
Did he know you were expecting your brother?
When he came from Uganda, he looked at me like this and asked me, am I seeing the right thing? Ama kuko aje? I told him, kuko vile tu unaona. Then he asked me, umeambia kina maadhe? Nikamwambia no. He told me, do you want me to tell them, ama we just keep it as it is? I told him, let's keep it as it is. And let me tell you, my brother is good. We just kept it like that. So now the day has come. At 8 p.m. we have gone 4 centimeters dilation. Oh my God. Then the nurse tells me, 4 centimeters bado ni kidogo. You go back home, then ukuje kifika 6.
And it's your first?
It's my first time. I don't know even if I've dilated. Now how do I go home? I asked the nurse, so how will I know nimefika 6 centimeters? The nurse was so rude to me. So my brother told me, you know, my brother is very calm. He's not so... Yes. Aliniambia, nyamaza tu. So tukatoka nje. Imagine we didn't have even money for Uber. Tulipanda matatu ya Kayole, forward travelers, mpaka town.
With the 4 centimeters?
Yes. We came to town, tukashuka huko chini pali forward inasimama, then we walked up to Kencom, tukapata gari za kwenda Ngumo. We boarded that Nissan, then tukafika Kenyatta. By the time I was getting to Kenyatta, I was already 6 centimeters.
Wow.
So it is me and my brother, the two confused kids, just doing things because they do not understand.
Yeah.
So we got to Kenyatta and the nurse was so shocked. They really helped me. But now I developed complication. I don't know it's because of this trip or what. Yeah. Now the dilation stopped. Lucy, I stayed the whole night.
Because of the stress. Yeah.
And then in the morning was here. I had not dilated anymore. Now the nurses were so worried because I was already tired, the baby was tired. So at around noon, imagine I came jana usiku at around midnight. Now, yes, now it's noon. 12 hours later, I was still at 6 centimeters. So the nurses decided to induce me. So I was induced, and it didn't work. So they had to cut me, and yeah, it just happened like that. But around 2, I got my baby, my boy now. It was good. You know, I remember the face of my brother looking at me with the baby. It was the best experience ever. So now the journey of motherhood began there. We went back to our home. You know, we were living in a single room. We didn't have, like, we didn't have a bed, we didn't have seat, we didn't have anything.
And no job.
And no job. And the baby is here.
And you can't now go hawking bananas.
I can't go hawking my bananas, and the baby is here. But now, you remember I said I had complication. When I was having this complication, you know, the nurses had spoken to my brother, and my brother was not sure if I would survive this thing, because now the nurses had told him what happens to women during all this. So my brother, out of this fear and worry, called my mom. This was the first time my mother is hearing about this thing. Hey, my mom was shocked, like, why did you guys keep quiet? And but there was no argument, so my mom was told. So when we left the hospital, my mom called. Oh, okay, now I've gotten the baby. Thank God that I was taken to the newborn unit. The following day came in the morning. The nurse came to check on us. Me and my baby were doing so well, thank God. And then we were discharged. This one was on a Sunday. When we were discharged, there was no one to pick us. We didn't have anything. Like, we were just there. With me, I had my NHIF card and some 2,000 shilling. So we spent 1,000 for transport, and the 1,000 that was left was meant for lunch, for food.
And the clothing for the baby?
I had bought some few pieces for the baby. Yeah, to survive what I could manage when I was doing the sales. Zamatunda. So when we got home, my mom called. Of course, we did the normal thing. When we get a baby, you pray for the baby, then we rested. Let me tell you, Lucy, I have a good brother. My brother washed my first clothes. And my baby's clothes, and just let us rest. Like, he told me, you just sleep, rest, because of the baby. But because we were so tired, I just slept and forgot I had a baby. So in the middle of the night, the baby is crying.
You slept and forgot.
I forgot. Now my brother is calling me. Amka mtoto analia. We start again. We sit down. You know, it was so dramatic. So now my mom started at least sending us money for food, and
maybe even food.
Yes, they couldn't send food. They were just sending us some small money for food. But there's one lady that I met when I was in school, when I was doing my diploma. She was the human resource manager at Kenya School of Law. Lucy, imagine that lady came to see me, came to visit me. She filled her boot with food and clothing for the baby and everything. She came to visit us. Whatever she brought is what kept us running. Then when my baby got to 3 months, my parents now came. The situation they found us in, my dad said, I'm not leaving you here. So that is how I went back to the village with my baby. My baby was only 3 months. But there was no like private car to take us back home. So I just boarded in it or Solina. Back to the village with my baby. Like after there was nothing in the house that tutabeba vitu. Mtabeba vitu gani na hakuna vitu za kubeba. So that is how I found myself in the village. So when I went to the village, of course I realized that I had brought problem at home. Because one thing, I remember my uncle who lived with us in our compound asked, I remember so well, asked me, aliuliza babangu, kwa nini wameleta mtoto hapa? Huyu mtoto anafaa kurudishwa kwa watu wao. And my dad asked, watu wao wagani? Like, hata mimi nilishangaa watu wao wagani? Nani mtoto wa 3 months. So from there I felt like, there's just trouble here. So my uncle was just like, uncle was not welcoming.
Yeah.
But my dad and my mom, walikuwa too, of course they would show me that could I have peace, but there was no peace. You could just feel it, yeah?
Yeah.
So, yes, I was there with my baby. Then at 4 months, let me tell you, Lucy, my baby fell sick. I didn't know, you know, I was a first-time mom. And my mother, now you know, when a girl brings a child at home, shida ikuangi katikati yako na wazazi. Now the parents start blaming each other. The dad and the mom is now, maybe one of you has failed. Yes. Yes, you see. So my baby fell sick and we didn't know that the baby alikuwa na meningitis. So I took the baby to referral hospital the first, in the morning, first round, akapatiwa antibiotics. Second round, I took him to the dispensary because the fever was not going away.
Yeah.
Akachangewa antibiotics. Then at night, this the soft spot here was not bulging.
Wow.
Ilikuwa imeanza kufura and the fever was so high. But now, hatuna, yani like listen, we don't have anything for the babies that mnasema mnamtest nini nini. So I was just sponge bathing the baby. At some point, the baby stopped even breastfeeding. So now at this point,
was the father of the baby working?
Yes.
He had a job?
Yes, let me tell you now, you'll be so surprised. Now the baby has fallen sick, Cindy. I've gone to Mater Hospital, and Mater Hospital now they've said, this is serious. This baby is in a critical condition. Now everything has gone to a standstill. They want now to save the baby because they have said this is acute meningitis. Me, when I heard that, I started crying.
Yeah.
Lucy, I called the daddy to this child because between me and poverty, between me and my life and between me and my child, I only had 200 shillings. Oh. And now these people are asking for money to open the file and all that. I didn't have money. I'll not lie to you that I had money. And my brother, who I could tell was a student, so he didn't have money. So I didn't want to tell my parents because I've already troubled them enough by bringing this child at home.
Yeah.
So when they did the first aid, the baby, the fever had started going down, but they said they will not admit the child there because they needed to remove that water that is being removed. We were referred to referral hospital. Did I have money for ambulance? No. You know what I did? I carried my baby on a motorbike. Lucy. Me, Esther, on a motorbike with my baby, my 4 months baby, to hospital, to referral hospital. When I got there, I just went to the pediatric unit and placed the baby on the table and started crying. Then the doctor who was there asked me what is the problem. I could not talk because of the pain. I think the nurse had followed me, so the nurse explained and the baby was taken to the ward and it was just a matter of emergency. Then they asked me if I had 5,000 shillings. What? Lucy, where do I get 5,000 shillings?
After a motorbike,
at an ambulance scene, I've come here with a motorbike that I have not even paid.
With a baby.
Hey. Now you're calling this person who is not even picking your call. Yani, Lucy.
Ulikuwa unamcall aitiki.
Happy call, her reply message. You know, like, Lucy, you're just there stressed. The baby is sick. Oh. Lucy, it was crazy. I remember the doctors told me they'll help. So my brother, I had called my, you know, it was a crisis. Me, I called my brother, I called my father, I called my mom. I called everyone that I know I would call for help. So my brother came with a motorbike too. And the doctor said they needed at least 3 men wa kushika mtoto ndo watoe hiyo maji because you know meningitis is very it's serious. So they helped the baby, but now they needed that injection because ukishatolewa ile maji natoleango there is an injection.
Na inataka 5,000.
Na inataka 5,000. I called a friend who sent me the money. And that is how my baby was saved. So we stayed in the hospital.
But the father did not respond.
No. Lucy, sometimes I even feel that pain inside me. You know, sometimes you can not be having money, but just show that you care.
Yeah.
You know, just show that you care.
Yeah.
So I went to the ward. I was in hospital for 6 days. Did this guy bother to call? No. Did he bother to send money? No. I was there with my baby. My baby alikuwa anapata, I can count, alikuwa anapata injection 3 every round. Daktari akikuja at 9, shindano 3. Akikuja at 3, shindano 3. I counted those shindano until the day tulimaliza. My son alikuwa amedungwa shindano moja 28. You know, at some point nilikuwa nauliza daktari, hii shindano mimi naweza dungwa huyu mtoto anyonye? Kwa sababu unaona it's a lot of pain on my small baby. The baby is only 4 months. Hata hajajua kukaa chini. Yeah? So the doctor looked at me akaniambia, tangu nianze kufanya kazi sijaisikia mama amesema kitu kama hiyo.
Mtoto anyonye.
Yeah, because it was so traumatic. My baby angeona hata saa hii mtoto wangu akiona mtu amevaa koti ya white anaanza tu kulia. It was so traumatic. So we stayed there, but let me tell you, Lucy, God works in favor.
Yes.
So my aunties, my relatives, unajua sasa wameanza kuja kuniona hospitali. People started coming.
Yeah.
By the time we were leaving hospital, I had close to 15,000. People would come, wanaona mtoto, you know, wanakuachia pesa. I'd get food. Sasa hata mimi ndo nikaanza kusaidia wale wa mama hawana pesa kwa hospitali kupata ile shindano.
Yeah.
So fast forward, my baby, although my baby has struggled with the ugonjwa until around 7 years.
Yeah.
But Lucy, I can tell you, every time, you know, after that incident, I stopped now calling this person for pesa ya dawa.
Yeah.
Nikajiambia, it's now me and my son. So when my baby got to, I remember when my baby now got to 7 months, I got a job as a teacher back in the village.
Kazi gani?
Ya kufundisha. Nimekuwa mwalimu, nimeenda Bridge International training, nikaandikwa job na Bridge. Then my baby started falling sick again. This time amepata bronchitis. So because I could not go to work, nikakatwa mshahara, end month nikatumiwa 300 as my salary.
Because you are not going to work.
Yes, and remember this time, sometimes when my baby is better, I carry my baby on the back and come with my baby to school to teach. But at the end of the day, the manager would write that I have not come. So, you know, the supervisor do not know. But let me tell you, Lucy, you see this time the manager is saying that I have not come and all that, they would deduct money from me. At the end of the month, they give me 300. So, I remember that time, it was around July, I decided to resign. I resigned from that work. And now opted to hawk shoes. Nikaanza kuuza viatu Isiolo. I sold viatu.
Okay.
Yes. And until I got now an offer to come to Nairobi. But let me tell you, when I was in the village, Lucy, there are things that, you know, people forgive but they don't forget. Yeah. And especially in those painful moments when you need people to hold you.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was supposed to go for an interview. Then I asked one of my aunties, do I call even her auntie or whatever? Yeah. I asked her to stay with my baby so that I could go for that interview. She refused. That is the pain a single mother would go through. Simply because that she's seen her husband, and she's married to our family. I endo amekuja, but she can't stay with my baby kwa sababu ati mimi sijaolewa. So I missed that interview. Then I remember single mothers we do a lot yawa. Then I remember at some point there was recruitment ya jeshi. I went for that recruitment and I was breastfeeding, remember that time. So nimeenda nimekaa kwa kiwanja akina nilikimbia. I remember nilikimbia. I was among the, I think, top 15 kwa hiyo mbio. Na unajua sasa hiyo tumebebwa na gari ya jeshi, tumepelekwa mpaka huko inaitangwa 78. Then we came running mpaka pale kwa IP. Na maziwa jioni matiti imefura hivi because of the milk. And then in the evening mnaambiwa ati kuna watu walichaguliwa jana. Corruption. So fast forward, I got a job. I left Isiolo when my baby was 1 year. 7 months, I think. Yeah. Then came to Nairobi. I got a job. Let me tell you, Lucy, I worked for this farm for 3 months. Then on the 3rd month, I remember it was on a Wednesday, I sent an email to my boss requesting her, because now I stayed in Nairobi for 3 months, I've not seen my baby. I'm requesting that on Friday, I leave early. Nilimwacha na maadhe so that I come. I'm requesting that I go home, see my baby. On Friday, I leave early at noon. Do you know the feedback that came? I was terminated from work.
Oh.
So Lucy, I have a baby that I've left at home for 3 months. I've not seen my baby. Nani baby every now and then ako mgonjwa. For 3 months, I've not seen my baby with my eyes like this. I've just been working and sending money home. Then I'm requesting, not even that I'm requesting, na si ati nimetuma message on Friday, I've sent an email on Wednesday that I go on Friday. Then the feedback you're giving me is that you've terminated my employment because of I requested for time to go and see my baby. That time my baby was turning 2 years. That is why I will not forget. So when they sent me my money, nikafanyia mtoto wangu shopping Nairobi, I went home. I cried seeing my baby. But I remember, Lucy, I saw to my baby that I'm not leaving you. Wewe, sikuachi. Nikafanyia mtoto wangu birthday ya 2 years, then came back to Nairobi. I'm coming to a house that at least sasa nilikuwa na job, nimenunua kakitanda na stove, but na mitungi na tusufuria, but sina kiti. So I left my baby after, hata sikulala. I remember it was on a Friday, nilienda. Nikafika, nimekuwa terminated on Wednesday. Yeah. On Thursday, nikashinda nikifanya shopping. On Friday, I went home. Tukashinda Saturday. On Sunday nikafanyia mtoto wangu birthday. On Monday I came back. Did I tell my mom sina job? No. I said I'm coming. I came back.
Na ulikuja na mtoto yako?
Sikukuja na mtoto, nilimwacha kwanza. But in my mind I know that I'm coming for you. Nikakuja, nikaenda. I was living in Kiserian. So I came. Ile pesa nilikuwa nimebakisha kidogo, nikaenda Gikomba nikanunua dresses nianze kuuza. I was selling dresses. But sasa unajua una sell na hiyo pesa ndo unakula. So nimekula mpaka pesa ya stock na kila kitu. Lucy, ikafika place siwezani kulipa rent. Nikaanza sasa napatiwa nyumba za watu kukalisha. Ati hii nyumba haina mtu, hakuna mtu anaishi, tukalie tu ndani mpaka tupate mtu atakuja kurent. That is how I was living. Let me tell you, kwenye nilipatiwa nyumba nikaona I can live here with my baby. I went for my son. Nikamleta, si atulipi rent. At least nikikula whatever food I eat, I'll be eating with my son. So I came with my son. Tulikuwa tunalala tu hapo. I struggled like that. I remember that was around 2015 January. No, it was around 2015 towards December, November there. 2015 December until January. So January it got worse. Because now, mwenye hata ile nyumba sasa anataka tuhame because amepata tenant. I remember that night I did a prayer, an evil prayer. I told God, Mungu saidia huyu tenant asikubali hii nyumba. Because mimi na mtoto tunaenda wapi? Where do I go with my baby? So God heard my prayers. The landlord and the tenant disagreed on something. And that is how we remained in that house. So in February, you remember that friend of mine who called me that ananipatia nianze biashara Isli? Yes. Called me. Akaniambia there's an office that is opening in Namanga. Mimi nikasema Namanga?
Namanga kwa mpaka ya Tanzania.
Me and my baby in Namanga, we do not know anyone. So in my mind nikajiambia,
How old is he at this time?
My baby was 2 point something na ninaenda na mama. Si mwachi, nakwambia tulikuwa tunalala chini. You know, and we were very happy with my son. We were very happy.
Mkaenda na manga.
So it came to March and February to negotiate and we agreed that I'm going to Namanga. But I had to be very clear on to them that sina do, I have literally nothing. Please, will you facilitate my movement? So they agreed to facilitate my movement from Nairobi to Namanga and at least to rent a house for me. Now drama comes when now at this time nikajiambia in my mind, I'm not going with my son to Namanga because I do not know this place. So I sent nilipeleka mtoto nyumbani so that I come and go alone. So I went to Namanga alone. Lucy, nilifika Namanga, sina mattress, like literally with nothing. Unajua kama wana facilitate movement ya mwili na vyombo za nyumba. Hakuna. Nilifika Namanga na suitcase yangu. I remember Lucy that night. Niliongoja watu waende walale. Nikaenda kwa takataka. Nikaokota box. Na kapeti ilikuwa hapo. Nikaikuja nayo, nikapanguza, nikamwaga nguo zangu kwa suitcase and I slept there. No curtain kwa dirisha, no curtain kwa mlango. But I was so determined that this is where I'll sleep because tomorrow I'm going to work. Did I eat that day? No. because I didn't have money for food. Na nimekuja kwa wenyewe sijui. But at the back of my mind, I knew that I have to do this for my baby. So the following day, I woke up, went to the office where...
The new office?
Yes. And I started my life like that. So I called a friend, nikawambia...
But at least the job, mshahara ilikuwa kubwa?
Mshahara ilikuwa, I think I was being paid 15,000. But it was okay.
Yeah.
It was better, yeah? So, nikapigia rafiki yangu nikamwambia nimepata job, the way the situation was. So my friend sent me 2,000. Nikaenda nikanunua mattress ya 700. Like, Lucy, I will never forget these things. Bought a mattress ya 700 na sufuria moja. And hata karai nilikuwa naomba kwa labors ya kuoga. That is how I started my life. That was March. July, I went for my baby. Tukakuja. Sasa hiyo nilikuwa nimenunua kama mattress kadogo, si ndio?
Hata sio kitanda.
So tulikuwa nalalanga na mtoto wangu hapo chini. And sasa the good thing about Namanga is that watu wanaishi kama community. So there's a lady I would give my baby, anashinda na yeye. So anashinda na yeye, then just like that. So I remember that time, I can't remember the exact month, but I remember the day nilinunua kitanda. My baby would touch that bed like this. Mama hii ni yetu. Mama hii ni yetu. Like he would go around touching the bed. Amini. Na bed tumenunua. Ile mattress yetu ya 700 itatoshea. Haitoshei. Sababu ni kale kadogo. Tunenga mattress huko kando kuna shimo.
So umepata kitanda kama mattress yenu.
Kako hapa.
Unaweka katikati.
Ninasongesha hivi kwa kona kwa sababu ya mtoto, alafu hii side nyingine imebaki na mbao. Naeka manguo. Unajua tunapanga zile manguo hivi ndio hata nikilalia nisifinywe sana. And we survived. Lucy, wacha nikwambie. I survived like that. Do I tell my parents that I'm suffering? No. My brother that time alikuwa ameanza hata life yake. So pia alikuwa na struggles zake. So my problems ni hapa. Now, fast forward, now my baby gets to 3 years in September. Si nimemwendea July, September ameturn 3 years. At least that, the good thing is that sikukuwa na so much expenses huku nje. So the small money I would earn, nilikuwa na invest in our house. So that time the devil again decided now to attack us. My baby would fall sick. Lucy, in 1 month my baby would get admitted like thrice in hospital.
Na ni wewe tu na yeye. Ile malaria ya Namanga.
Nakwambia, my baby would get sick. But at some point I would start wondering, kwani ni nini, what is happening? Sometimes I would even pray, I would cry to God, what is happening? You know, you are a single mom, this is your first baby, the baby is falling sick.
You're by yourself.
You're just by yourself, you are in a land where you do not know anyone. I would cry the whole night. I would cry the whole night. I would pray. Lucy, I would pray. You know what prayers is. Sometimes I would just touch my baby like this. So
at what time did you go to school again and get the law degree?
Let me get there. Now my baby is 3-4 years. Lucy, remember at some point my baby we you know, so now tuko sisi wawili. Let me tell you the stigma about single parenting and community. Someone comes, now my life start picking up kidogo. So but before life picks up, Lucy, let me tell you, there's a time hatukukuwa na kitu. Siku moja, like sikukuwa na pesa, Lucy, kabisa. In the evening, we didn't have something to eat. Then I was trying to cook nyanya, we eat. With, I don't know, hata ilikuwa na ugali ama nini. My baby cried and told me, Mom, nisaidie na hiyo nyanya nikule.
Oh.
Lucy, today I fight for my life and my baby when I remember that day. When my baby, yani, it is the most painful thing in my life.
Yeah.
That I would not give my baby even mandazi. You know mandazi?
Yeah.
That my baby would beg for tomato.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm an orphan. It's not like I don't have friends. But the stigma that is associated with single parenting.
Wow.
So this time, I remember that time, someone comes to my house and tells me there is a mzee, old mzee who has been deserted by his children and he needs somewhere to eat. Now, how do I bring a man, an old, in as much as this man is 70 or 80 years, he cannot be allowed even to come to my house. But even if he comes, what do I give to this person?
Yeah.
Lucy, I remember that time I cried to God and told God, you know, there's a reason you brought me to Namanga, and I'm not going back to Nairobi with shame. I'm going to Nairobi. You that promised Abraham to leave his land, that you'll bless him in a foreign land, I came here because so that you bless me. And true to his word, God blessed me. I remember I told that lady, let that man not come to my house, but I'll see what I'll do. I went back to the village to my mom and explained this to my mother. My mother gave me blanket and a lot of things to give that mzee. So that month, my boss increased my salary.
Wow.
Just from nowhere, my boss increased my salary. And then my brother also got a better job. So this time, my brother now at least he could get something to send us at Akamani kidogo. So I also spoke to a few friends, tukasaidia mzee, tukamwanzishia duka. So the burden was off me kidogo. Now my son gets to a point that he's going to school. I call a friend, mama fulani hapo nikamwambia, you know, mtoto wangu amefika point ya kwenda shule. So this lady goes to discuss this with the husband. Husband yake akamwambia, nisione huyo mwanamke na wewe tena. Mtoto wake anataka kwenda shule gani? Mtoto wetu anasomea. Where will she get money to pay? Ama ameanza kulala na wanaume so that she can afford money. Lucy, it was so painful that even people who know good schools could not even refer me to a good school because I'm a single mother. Where do I get money to pay? I remember that time, I told God, mtoto wangu aendi shule ya government. No, my son is going to a good school. Yes, my son went to a good school in Namanga. It was called Savelberg. That is the school where the who's and who's of Namanga take their children. I want to thank my then boss. She was very supportive, very supportive. So during this time is when now, you know, now I've healed. I've healed from the frustration. I've accepted that I'm a single mom. Yeah. I've accepted the rejection of the society. Family. You know, I've just accepted that me and society, we are two different things. That mimi sifai kuendanisha na wanawake wameolewa. Unaona? My baby afai kucheza na watoto wa mama wako na baba zao, you know? Because I remember even at some point watoto walikuwa wananunuliwa vitu and kids would come and say, hii ni baba yangu amenunulia. And then my son would just tell them, hata mimi nitaambia mama yangu. Hata mimi nitaambia mama yangu. You see? Yani that thing really rings in my mind every day. Then at 4 years, so you remember this point now when I've said my boss was so supportive. Yes, she was very supportive. So at this, when he got at 4 years, around October, the October of 2019 or the October of 2018, now in my mind I started telling myself I need to go back to school. But Lucy, I'm going back to school with a salary of 18,000. Is this salary
and
even...
your son has just started school?
Yes, my son has started school. How do I even manage this? I started telling myself I think I need to get a better job. Was my boss bad? No. But the desire in me, the thing that I need to achieve my dream. So I told actually, you see, now that was October. November, my boss tells me, Esther, I want you to come back to Nairobi. Oh my God. It was the happiest moment of my life. This time, Lucy, tuko na kitanda, tuko na kiti, tuko na at least gas, nini. The house is looking like a house where pali watu wanaishi. Yeah. And now, tunafaa turudi Nairobi. How do I come back to Nairobi? I start asking people. They tell me it's 13,000 to relocate. Where do I get 13,000?
Na mshahara ni 18,000.
Na mshahara ni 18,000. So I tell my boss, sasa mimi nitauza vitu. My boss tells me no, I'll organize. Sasa utahama nazo hiyo 13,000. My boss tells me I have a friend anafanyanga kazi ya Stigma. I'll send him akileta posts za Stigma. Ile siku wanaleta wakuhamishe. So unaona hata hujapangwa watakuja siku gani? You know, sio umejipanga ile siku wanaleta. That you do not know.
Yeah.
So these people came on siku nyingine jioni wakaniambia, oh, wewe ndio unaitwa Esther, leo ndo tumekuja na tunataka kurudi Nairobi leo jioni. Oh my God. So tunahama aje? Hivyo tu. Lucy nilihama kutoka Namanga bila preparation, but it was okay because tulikuwa tulirusha vitu na mimi na mtoto wangu kwa truck ya Kenya Power tukakuja Nairobi. Tulienda kuishi wapi? Pipeline. Nyumba ni giza. Tunaishi na stima throughout the day. Did I tell this person that I was coming to Nairobi? At this point I thought, labda now that I'm coming to Nairobi, closer to him, it would be better.
Huyo baba ya mtoto.
Did he respond? No. Did he show concern? No. Fine. Me, I came to Nairobi. Tukaenda Pipeline, pali tuliekwa, we started life there. Lucy, when I came, mimi sikutulia. Nilitafuta tu job, I got another job. So this time round, the job I got, it was paying me a gross salary of 25,000. Si tumeongezeka?
Yeah.
Si imekuwa better. But kumbuka ni gross, eh?
Uko na mtoto yako.
Na niko na mtoto, bado tunakata pay.
Wow.
Na Nairobi, school fees kama ya Namanga. But now, nikakuja huku Nairobi sasa, that time si nilikuwa tu mdogo hivi,
yeah.
Nikapata, Nairobi single parent are not stigmatized.
Oh, it's different than Geisha.
Yeah. So I got a group of single parents that we are even today. That group is still there. So I joined this group. But sasa the first party ilikuwa inafanyika Henesis. Niko na pesa ya kwenda huko? No. So a friend paid. Kuna another single mother, nikamtext nikamwambia mimi nataka kwenda hii meeting but sina pesa. It was 1,500. I could not afford 1,500.
Yeah.
So she paid for me. So I went for that meeting. And I was so encouraged. Mothers, our chair lady even today, she's retired. She retired last year in July. She's been a single mother since she was 13. So she was encouraging those of us who the babies were small.
Yeah.
Actually back then, mimi ndo nilikuwa na mtoto mdogo. Hao wengine watoto wao kwa university nini, but they would encourage us. So yeah, we came, my baby joined school. Now, Lucy, when I started going to school, nimeanza a house girl. In 2020 is when I started school. That time my salary ilikuwa imeongezeka imefika 35.
Wow.
So I'm starting school at 35,000. But remember I have rent, I have school fees for the baby. Now mine, I have transport and I have house girl. Because unaona sasa naenda part time.
Umeanza kwenda shule.
Sasa 2020 January nimeanza kwenda shule.
Ndio kuwa wakili.
Yeah.
You just decided and have to go to do law.
But without money. But I have to go. So I go. I join school January. Sina pesa. Imefika time tukaambiwa we need to pay school fees, but I didn't have money.
For the units?
Yes. You know what I did? Someone advised me to use HELP. So I applied for HELP and thank God, God was gracious. I got HELP. Yes.
Wow.
Government was giving me 200,000 every year.
Wow.
Yes.
Just because you dared.
Yes.
You dared to dream.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the will was there. The will was driving me like crazy. Yeah. Like hizi vitu zingine zilikuwa. That time, Lucy, let me tell you, I had forgotten I had friends. I had forgotten even about my I had forgotten what is shame. Because I had suffered shame.
Yeah.
Lucy, I would walk from Pipeline to Dawn Home so that I can board a mat. Because nikipandia Dawn Home, napanda zile za modhura za 30 bob. At least I would save.
Ulikuwa na reduce cost?
Yes. Because niambie with 25,000 or with 35,000 na ikikatwa pay inakuja around 20 something. You have rent, you have child, you have food, you have house girl, you have electricity, you have all these bills.
Umejiregister shule.
Na umejiregister shule. So I had to look for mechanisms to survive. I cut cost. So fast forward, mimi ndio huyo first year, second year, third year, fourth year. Esther is graduating, she's a lawyer.
Wow. Oh, congratulations. Sasa nionyeshe ile kitabu. Wow, congratulations Esther.
And you know what, Lucy? You know the last time I was with you, I was in my third year.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah.
And that time I just started, you know, we met when I started my research. I actually didn't know that you were doing the elderly, the aging.
Yeah.
So when I came to you, we spoke about the elderly. Now that inspired more about my research. And today, I'm presenting to you my research, my dissertation.
No.
This is my dissertation. I did it.
Oh my God.
I believe I did a good job.
Oh, my congratulations,
Thank
Esther.
you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. And as I've always told you, you're doing a good job.
Thank you, Esther.
So to me,
Hey.
I'll say the pain of single parenting. Me, Lucy, I know what rejection is. I know what it means to go without food. I know what it means to go. Lucy, if I show you my photos, I remember when I started working in Nairobi, one of our managers alinipatia nguo zake, donated clothes to me. Because zile nguo nilikuwa nayo. Lucy, I'll share with you photos of me when I came to Nairobi from Namanga. I was looking like a destitute child. I looked like someone who, you know, this manager, I remember that morning, came and told me, Esther, these ones are yours. And yes, because my clothes did not look like for someone who was working.
Oh my God. And now you are a lawyer today.
And today,
Oh Lord.
you know, Lucy, today my baby goes to the best school that I can mention. I don't want to mention the name of the school, but my son goes to an international school that offers both CBC and international British system.
Oh my God.
And I'm proud to say that
Single mom.
single parenting, being a single mom, you just have to be focused. Pain, there's loneliness, there's isolation, there's stigma. People will say that you want to take their husbands. People will call you all names. You know, even in church, I remember at some point one of our pastors said that I would not even be appointed in any position in the church because I was a single mom.
Oh Lord.
And later, but my tithing and my offerings, they would come for it.
Oh,
that is, you know, Lucy, I've not gone to church for like 4 years. I started going to church this year, and it's because of my baby. I had stopped going to church because this church, I remember even one of the women in church said, mwili yake inakaa shida, that she should come to my house and nimpikie one day. How would a woman say that? You know?
Lakini ukipeleka tithe watachukua ya single mother.
Of course they take, but they'll talk badly, you know? You know, me I tell people, I support all programs in church. I support, and especially for children, I'll support. But someone will come and say that ati huyu hafai kuchaguliwa position in church. Someone will come and say, you know, they do not know. My body is small, so what?
You look beautiful. You look great, Esther.
They'll talk badly because of my baby. You know, at some point I used to wonder, is this even church? Is this even people that you're supposed to be associated with? So today, let me tell you, Lucy, today, after I graduated, now everybody wants to be my friend. Today my baby goes to the best. Lucy, I'll repeat this. My baby goes to the best school.
How old is he now?
10. My baby is 10 years. Does he know his father? No. Has he ever seen his father? No. Is it that it is me stopping the man not to see his child? No. I've actually even asked him several times. But is this guy willing? No. Do I want to force him? No, I don't want to force him. I said I'll protect the small heart of my son. I'll protect his heart. I'll take him to the best school. It doesn't matter. Lucy, let me walk. Let me not have a car, but I'll give my son everything. Wacha watu waseme ati ameharibika, it doesn't matter. Akiharibika tu ni wangu. He's my baby. I've suffered with him. Today, Lucy, me and my son decide leo tunataka kulala kwa kitanda, leo tunataka kulala kwa hii.
I saw a beautiful picture of you and your son.
See?
Yeah.
Last year, I did my son's birthday in Panari.
What?
Yes. Yes.
As a lawyer.
Yes. I don't want to mention where we are going this year. But last year, we went to Diani for a vacation.
Wow.
And, you know, we were not taken by Mbaba. No. Do I have a Mbaba in life? No. I survive on my own and by the grace of God. Do I get people who hate on me? Yes. About dating, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. because my dreams are
But you're
bigger
still,
by my fears.
you're still young, Esther.
Yes, I am, but
How old are you now, Esther?
right now I'm 36.
Wow. Still very young.
No, I'm not young. But I don't want to date right now because my dreams are bigger than me. I want to achieve bigger things, and I'm just praying. I'm just praying for the great things that I have.
Wow.
And I want to tell other young girls,
Yeah, look at the camera and tell them.
getting a baby is not a mistake. But abandoning that child will be the greatest mistake. And you suffering in a relationship, or someone has rejected you, you feel like it's the end of you. It's not. It's not the end of you. Me, I was asked, how sure are you that this baby is mine? Ebu send those photos, I compare, kama huyo mtoto anafanana na mimi. For heavenly sake, where do I can't impregnate myself, you see? For young girls out there, I got my baby when I didn't know anything about children. And here I am today. I can say it is possible. I slept hungry, I walked. Lucy, I would walk, I think, like 20 kilometers in a day to cut costs so that my baby can eat. Has my child ever gone without food? Yes. Have you ever slept without food? Yes. Do you today sleep without food? No.
So Esther, hii inaweza kuwa hiyo mashinda yote umeongelea, ndu being a young mother, neglected, rejected. Could it be the reason siku hizi tumeona wasichana wengi mtu anabeba mtoto yake pamoja na yeye anaenda kujiangusha kwa maji?
I would say
anajiua ama anaua watoto. You are you're such a strong woman.
It's lack of focus and fear. The fear of rejection. Fear of rejection has led so many people to killing themselves and to doing strange things. Because, you know, when you live per the society expectation, Lucy, if today usikie Esther amefanya kitu strange, I know that Esther.
Yeah.
But if I don't live by your standard, I do not care what you'll say about me. I live by my litmus paper. It is me who knows what I want. The girls who kill themselves, first, I would say maybe it started from their childhood. Me, I would say my childhood was very strong. When I was growing up, my dad was the best thing for me. First, I would say the impact of the parents in their children's life when they are young determines a lot even when they are old. That whatever happens in your society where you're living today at home determines what that girl becomes when she's big.
Wow.
To those girls who feel rejected and they want to kill their children, just look yourself into the mirror and ask yourself, if I die today, what will become of my children? The fear of my son being victimized and being put into trouble by society keeps me fighting every day. Lucy, I sleep 4 hours in a day. At night, I don't sleep. After work here, I go at home and I start analyzing what I want to do next.
Wow. So Esther, do you think there's anything you know that your son could be missing without a father and a father role model?
No. I have discussed with my son this, and I've asked him several times, do you think you want to see your dad? He always tells me, Mom, I have you, like, for a father figure, my brother is there. Every holiday, my brother will come and take my son with him. And do I allow my son to interact with other children who have daddies? Yes. So he's seeing. Me, I don't hide my baby. I allow him to interact with other people who have their daddies, other children who have their daddies. My brother also takes him. Although I don't invite male friends to my house to interact with him because of my privacy and his privacy too. But I don't think there is anything he misses from his dad. Maybe just knowing who he is, but I so far from my interaction with my son, because this is a discussion we have had with him, I don't think he does, because the last time we spoke, he was asking me when I'm getting married. He actually wants me to get a husband.
Wow. So do you think, what if this father shows up at some point looking for his son and he wants to maybe unite with him, would you have any objection?
At this point, when my son is still young, yes, I would want to protect my son because he's still small and I don't know why he's coming at this time. But when he's old, no. Because one thing I've learned with myself, I live my life and my son lives his life. When he's old enough to defend his heart, to give his conscious feedback and you know, like when he understands things, I would want him to go and talk to him. But now when he's small, yes, I'll protect him with everything I have because he's still small. I don't want someone coming to intoxicate his mind with, you know, other things in life. Yeah. But when he's older, he can because me, I live my life. When he gets to 19, when he's in campus, I'll be alone. He'll be alone. Yeah. I'll not decide what they do. I believe the upbringing he has now, that time he'll be able to make his own conscious judgment.
So, for example, he becomes a successful man, and now the father shows up at old age, because a lot of problems that we have today, we have a lot of older men who think they are being neglected by their children and their wives when they are old, and that their children don't take care of them. What can you say about that? Because I've seen you have a lot of concern with the older persons too. Could that be having any relation?
You know, Lucy, one thing people do not understand, people live today, they don't know their tomorrow. And that is the mistake that most people are making. Today, Lucy, if I decide to go drinking and walking naked here in Nairobi today, I'm not thinking about my tomorrow. When I'll be 40, when I'll be 50, what will become of me? What will people say? Yeah, and as I've told you, that is my worry. My worry is in the future. It's not in the present. It's not now. So for the older people who feel neglected, for me, I think that they are being served what they deserve. Yes, they're being served what they deserve, because Lucy will not neglect your baby when the baby needed you most. And then when they are able, that is when you want to come up. You just want to reap where you didn't sow. As people say that forgive, yes, we'll forgive, but we are human. You know, we are human. And for the older people who are suffering, me, I would say, Wakikuyu, they have a kamsemo, weshokia, unajirudisha. Come back to your children. But you know, our men, the arrogance, the ego, they just want to harm your father. You know, your mother was... Me, don't come to me with that. Niambie relationship yangu mimi na wewe. You are my parent. Me and you. See your story yangu na mama yangu. The moment you bring ati mama yako alifanya, we end that communication. What about me and you? What did you do to me?
As a father?
Yes, as a father to me. You know, it's not what my mother did. Yes, if my mother misbehaved, why did you desert us as children? We are yours. Yes, my mother did whatever she did. Can you deal with her? But me as your child, me as your daughter, what did you do to me? You know, that would be my greatest concern. So me, every time, I have had these issues, I've had this concern, and you know, my dad and my mom also separated sometimes back, eh? And I've always told my dad, you know, when you call me and I pick my phone, it's because you protected me when I was small, when I was vulnerable.
You are my father.
Yes, you're my dad. And I've grown knowing that I can go back to you. So your relationship with my mother is different. My relationship with my mother is different. You know, me, I support my mom because she's my mom. I support you because you're my dad. You know, yeah. It doesn't matter. The separation between
you are
of
there
you.
For me.
Yes, the separation between the two of you should not come in between. And this is something we have discussed even with my brother. We have agreed that mzae tunamtreat kama mzae, madhe tunamtreat kama nani? Kama madhe. And I have seen, you know, Lucy, I told you the other time that I have these old people that I support back in the village. And every time I listen to them, waliuza shamba yao, watoto hawakuwa na pahali. So kama uliuza shamba yako when you had energy, sasa unataka watoto wakupeleke wapi? Where do you want these children to take you? And I've told you we have a group for single parents. Every time I listen to these single parents and I ask myself, like now me, baba mtoto wangu, if he came today ati sasa mtoto wangu amekuwa mkubwa ama sasa mimi nimekuwa na kwangu, he comes to my house.
Yeah.
Surely where will I keep him? Where will I keep him? You know, there are honest conversations that people need to have in life.
Yeah.
You've come to me to do what?
That you didn't do when I needed you most.
No, you've come to my son now. What do you want this boy to do to you? What are you claiming? You know, there are small things people need to understand in life, that things don't just happen. Lucy, today I'm a lawyer because I went to school. I studied for 4 years. I had sleepless nights. You want to be called a father where you did not take this child to school, you did not feed this child, you did not clothe this child. So what do you want to become to this child's life?
Good question.
You've grown old, you've gotten to 60 years.
70.
So what?
Wow.
Wacha tuache hii story ati nimekuwa mzee, now I want to be protected. What did you do to deserve that protection?
When did you protect us?
Yes. When I was vulnerable, when I was a small child where the society could abuse me, you were older enough to protect me, but you were not there. Oh. Where do you want me now that now you've become vulnerable in society, you want now me to protect you? Where do I get this strength from?
Wow.
You know, even if tunataka kusaidia hawa wazee, mimi every time I tell you, you see, like I've told you, you see that mzee that I assisted in Namanga, right now tulimpeleka Embu kwao. We told this mzee, now umefika 70, you cannot continue staying here in society, go back home.
So Esther, as we wind up, and you know, your story is just so inspiring, it's so touchy. You've said that you haven't been to church and you stopped going to church.
Yes.
Because of the way the church was treating you.
Yes.
What you do, look at the camera there, talk to those church bishops and pastors and those church goers. Tell them how they managed to lose someone like you in the church.
Lucy, I stopped going to church, and I started going to church this year. I think like on 2 months or so. To the church people, because I think I lost respect for church and the people in church. When we come to church, we don't come for you. We come because the Bible says that we need to come together. Whether I've come naked, whether I've come with whatever I've come with, please don't judge people. To the people who see us single mothers and see we are a threat, we are not. We are equally sinners like even the married people in the church. To the people who think that we've come there and brought our church, our children, it's a competition. No, these children, Jesus said, let the little children come to me. Where do you want us to take these children, if not in the church? To the clergymen, I think it's high time we now start having those departments for single parents. Single parents in church. Me, I see women guild, I see men what. I've never seen a group for single parents. Where do we take our children? Why do you want to classify us as sinners? Jesus said, if you have not sinned, be the first to hit. Where do you guys want to be the first to hit us?
Wow.
Is this society rejecting us because we are single parents or because we are sinners? I don't believe I'm a sinner. I don't believe that I deserve the judgment that we receive today in church.
Wow. So Esther, just wind up. I want for our government also, you know, for the longest, now that you are a lawyer today, you know the rights of everyone in the country according to the Constitution of Kenya. Now, for the first time, we are pushing the bill of Senior Citizen Bill 2024, which I don't think people have participated well, because the mood in which the information was disseminated, I was so shocked. You told me you didn't even know about the bill. What do you think about this bill? Do you think it's due? Do you think the government also has a role to play as a lawyer now?
Yes, I believe we, the society, have a role to play, and I'm happy we have such a bill. You'll see from my research, you'll see those are some of the recommendations that we've made. That we need to have a statute. Currently we just have the rules, but we need to have a statute, because the statute will give us the legal framework, it will give us the regulation, it will give us the institutions, right? Yeah. So that is what we need. I think we are going the right way, but I think the public participation now needs to be more emphasized. I think I don't know if we have the fundings to do this public participation that is being done today. You see the finance bill, the way people are very proactive about it. But I've not seen someone being proactive about this bill for the senior citizen. I think the more we need to give it equal energy, and I believe it is a good thing. I look forward to seeing how it will be implemented. I look forward to having institutions that work.
Yeah.
You know, we could be having laws, we could be having everything, but the institutions. I look forward to seeing you, Lucy, being there the way right now you're doing. When those institutions have been established, let's have institutions that are working. We don't need to be seeing 100 queues for the elderly is going to receive 3,000. Yeah? 2,000. Those queues. So the old mama has woken up at 4, gone for that queue, and then jioni anarudi bila pesa. It's so unfair. We are in a digital world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We are in the digital world. We have the Huduma number. Can the government come with a mechanism that these people just be receiving money at the comfort of their houses?
Thank you so much, Lawyer Esther. I'm so proud of you. I have seen you grow, and you are just an example, and I don't know, you are a role model of other young women who are getting so desperate out there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Viewers, thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, Lucy Mworia Network. You're going to learn, to be inspired, and to get a lot of information from this. With this, bye-bye now.